Okay then folks, so today we're doing the Scottish steading. So we've got lots of little windows to do here. So the handy 6 and 8 inch homemade liquidator squeegees, which look like this and this, are going to come in very handy for this kind of job. If you want to know how to make your own custom made liquidator, check this video that I'll leave up there for you, how to make it. But it comes in really handy, especially for jobs like this where there's very small windows to do. So we're going to get cracking. We also need this as well. It's our 6 inch Unger applicator, also a 14 inch. This is a Moerman applicator sleeve, and we'll get that ready to rock and roll. Okay, we've dunked it in the clean water, so just add our soap on the big applicator and the small applicator as well. Just wring out some of the excess. We don't need it as wet as that, unless you're in a really hot place where it's about 30 degrees centigrade or more. Then you might need to obviously run your applicator a little bit wetter. But if you're kind of what I would class as normal temperatures, anything under that, then you can get away with wringing out a little bit excess water, and it's less to clean up as well. So we've got our cloths, we've got our squeegees, 2 applicators, smooth microfiber, which you don't actually really need. There's no detailing to do, but you never know, just in case. And we're all good. And we've got the little ladder around the side. We'll grab this. It's a good set of ladders, these Ramsey ladders from here in Scotland. Okay, ready to go, and we'll lock up the van. All good, right. And away we go. Right, so we've got these 2 here. So pop that there, and because we're on loose stones and that, if you've watched the ladder safety video, I'll leave a link to that up there. Just shows you the basics of using a ladder and some hints and tips. We're gonna use the feet to dig into the little stones to make sure the ladder's not going anywhere. Okay, there's a concrete sill under that. A bit awkward this one, but hey ho. Okay, we'll flick those feet up, and what I would recommend you do when you're on something loose like this is put your foot on the bottom rung and just push it into the ground. Make sure it's going nowhere. Dig it in a little bit. So we've got these 2 to do, and then sort of lots of this style of thing all around the bottom to do as well. So we've got our frame cleaning cloth at the ready. So we'll go up and have a look and see what the damage is. So this obviously used to be, basically was a stables a long time ago, now converted into a lovely home. So what we're going to do is just clean all the windows. This is a monthly job, and frames, panes, sills and doors as per everything else. Okay, so working from outside to in. Ugh, that's minging. So this is why I have the small Moerman squeegee and the small applicator. So we'll just grab the small squeegee. So you can see it's just over half the width of the glass, so that's exactly what we want. I'll just rub that soap into the pane, get it nice and slippy, and we're ready to go. Okay, so soap up all your panes. This is what I do anyway. So they're all ready to rock and roll. Prime your rubber. Pop that applicator away, don't need that now. Got your cloth ready. You can do the framework just on the sides, just to get rid of that. Okay, so now we can do the glass. Okay, so we're going to go up, round and down, and then you can do the partition across the way after you've done each level. So we'll do the top ones first, down, round and close out. Cut into the corner, round, down, back up and down. Just like that. Okay, and clean your frame. Cut in, along the top, down the side, come back up, round and down. The reason why we don't do this, which I'll show you, is that that bit's fine, coming down's fine, and here's where the difference is. If we just do this, turn and come straight down, it leaves a little turn mark just here because there's more friction, obviously being more pressure being put on the corners of the rubber there. So what we need to do on this style of channel, you can get away with it more on standard channels, but for this kind of channel you need to do a quick little fix. So it's down, back up, and then you're going to catch that solution just there. So you come down, round, catch the solution, and then down. And that means it doesn't leave any little turn marks or anything to detail. So even though this is all wooden frames, this is no rubber seals on this, completely wooden all the way around. There we are. Just make sure there's no drips going to come down. That's the downside to doing this kind of thing. You just got to make sure this is completely dry, that there's no drips going to be coming down. And there we are, window one done. Okay, once we're grabbing our ladder, foot at the bottom, pull the ladder up, walk across, keeping the ladder upright to the next window, and same again. Just pop that in the middle, flick the feet up so that the bottom of the ladder digs into the stones. Again, 1 foot on it, just to make sure it's dug in. The angle's all good, safe, secure. That's what we want. Don't take any chances. I never ever run up and down ladders ever, or do the 2 rungs at a time thing. Safety first, which is why in over a decade of using ladders I've never had an issue, because you know, I treat going up ladders very seriously and never get how would you say, sort of lax with the safety of it. Okay, so soap up our panes again. That good scrub, because we're kind of out by trees and fields and things here. You get a lot of debris and dirt coming off of the trees, so it needs a good scrub. Even though it is a monthly job, it can get quite dirty. Okay, so again doing the sides. Get rid of that excess. Frames, panes, sills, outside to inside. Okay, there we are. Cut in, down, do the fix, and down. Cut in, across the top, down, round, close out. Okay, so this is why being able to make your own liquidator is very handy, because then whatever job you have, it doesn't actually take very long to make your own squeegee. But especially if you've got the know-how and the tools, it doesn't take too long after you've had a bit of practice, and then you can make any kind of channel that you want. And you can, I'm just slowing this down at the moment just so you can see what I'm doing, but once you get good at it you can speed this process up. But I just, especially for videos, I like to take my time so that you folks can see clearly what I'm doing, that nothing's being missed, and get a good work practice. Okay, so there we are, completely detail free. I'm not having to physically touch the glass with any cloths. This is doing all the work for me, which is what we want. Okay, and down we go. So coming down the ladder, both hands, both feet, 1 rung at a time, and there we have it. So the rest of these windows I actually only need the little ladder, so we'll go and chuck this back on the trad mobile because we don't need that anymore, and we'll carry on with the rest of the windows. Okay, so this is where now the 8-inch liquidator comes in quite handy, which I'll show you now. This is the homemade 8-inch. The smallest that Moerman do is actually 10-inch, so this had to be cut down a little bit. But just remember that if you want a certain size, like 8, these blue clips add on 1 inch either side. So you have to bear that in mind when you're making your channels. To make the actual channel itself, this bit here, 2 inches smaller than what you want it, because then this will add on an inch and that will add on an inch. Just so you remember, otherwise you'll end up with it 2 inches bigger than you want it to be. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of dirt. Okay, so again, use our applicator, soak this up. Let's do these top ones here while I'm up the ladder. The rest of them I can all reach from the floor, so I'll just do these top 4 while I'm up the ladder. Okay. Okay, and then we prime our rubber. Now you just have to be very gentle on wooden frames. A lot of people comment and say that their rubber doesn't last very long in liquidators. That is usually because they're probably pretty heavy-handed. See here, I'm using a very light touch. It's literally, you know, I'm just gripping it. I'm not putting overly much pressure on it at all. This is a soft rubber that's in here. You can either use Moerman soft or Pulex soft. Those are 2 good rubbers to use. Also Ettore is a good rubber to use, but that takes a while to wear in. You'll have maybe a day or 2 of quite sticky rubber before the Ettore rubber actually wears in. So the Pulex and the Moerman just wear in a little bit quicker. And the Pulex is actually a bit cheaper as well, so Pulex is pretty good.